Or is it Senator Britt?
Well, thank you. I always love it when I get to butt ahead of my colleague here, Katie Britt. I appreciate your deference. And thank you to leadership of the committee and the judiciary staff. I know that a lot went into preparing this hearing, and this is our second hearing that we're holding on drones in a very short period of time, and I think that speaks volumes to the importance of this issue to our national security and our domestic security. So I thank the witnesses for being here, and certainly the staff that worked hard to get this hearing ready. And I think we are all cognizant that whether it's border operations or trying to tackle the issue of transnational criminal organizations using drones, or certainly those that have come into our country under purported lawful means, but now using drones to surveil really critical infrastructure to our national security. And it is happening very frequently. This could not be more timely, and us quickly adopting improved laws to address these risks, I think, is so important. I have been focusing very much on students coming into our country on visas and then getting a hold of drones and using them to surveil our military bases. And I was just running through some of those recently. Over and over again, we're seeing them. One was caught using a drone in Virginia, videoing a U.S. Navy base. He was a student. One was caught in my own state, surveilling Patrick Space Force Base. Another in Los Angeles, flying a drone over Vandenberg Space Force Base. I mean, I can go on and on. And at some point, we've got to acknowledge our laws may not be sufficient, and specifically as it relates to videos. We just, a couple months ago, caught a Chinese-born Canadian citizen on a visa in our country, flying a drone over Port Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida, my home state. They searched his drone afterwards and found that he had flown it 9 times, taking 2,000 videos within a span of a few days. The documents that were released in the Middle District of Florida showed that 13 videos showed military infrastructure at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station that included roads, power distribution infrastructure, security checkpoints, mission control infrastructure, fuel storage facilities, munitions storage areas, space launch complex, payload processing facilities, a submarine wharf, among other critical infrastructure. When that man was charged, they could not charge based on the videos because video is not included in the Drone Espionage Act of something that can be charged. And so as this routine and the frequency of people taking videos of our military installation picks up, it is clear to me there needs to be an update to our Drone Espionage Act. That seems to be front and center. That we could do right now to make a change in our laws to address this evolving technology. I introduced critical legislation after this committee's hearing in May that would strengthen that existing statute to include videography of sensitive national defense sites as a crime under the Espionage Act of 1917, and that would close that loophole. This is not only happening in Florida. Like I said, this is going to be of a concern to all of us on the judiciary that have military installations in our state. I happen to have 21 in Florida, and numerous have been videoed by people here that should not have been taking video of our installations. So I think it's critical that we as policymakers take this very seriously, not only the warnings that you're giving us very clearly, but being efficient and actually getting something done and changing our laws to reflect this evolving technology and the increased threats and risks. And it's not just hypotheticals, like we've said. We've seen would-be assassins flying drones. We're seeing right now people here in our country taking videos of our military installations that are here purportedly lawfully on visas. It has to stop, and they have to be charged, and we've got to close these loopholes. So I'll start with Mr. Hardy. As we've seen in several recent reports, including in the case I just mentioned, where a man took so many videos of our military infrastructure in Florida, how important is it that our infrastructure at our sensitive military installations be protected from drone surveillance in order to protect our national security?
Thank you, Senator. As I said in response to the question from Chairman Grassley, we strongly support a more comprehensive approach to creating felonies that would apply to airspace that is national defense airspace. And as you're aware from your comments, those are generally misdemeanors now. So the coverage is too narrow, and then the penalties are too low. And we would look forward to working with the committee on those issues and the issue that you raised with respect to the scope of the provision that applies to.
Well, at this moment, you can't even charge a misdemeanor if somebody takes a video of a critical military installation, correct?
Yes, we would definitely look forward to working with the committee on that particular statute, in addition to the ones that I had mentioned in response to the question from Chairman Grassley, which is an approach where we would be able to impose flight restrictions over certain facilities, and then you wouldn't have the issue of what was the person photographing, what was their intent. It would be a knowing violation of that airspace. So there are two ways to address that problem, and we would support looking at both of those, working with the committee.
Thank you.
Thanks, Senator Moody. Senator Klobuchar.